right, folks, we are live, second week running, new hours for the InfoWarrior, 6 to 9 Central Time every Sunday, and I am fresh off a trip to Washington, D.C., to Philadelphia, not even just D.C. I mean, we flew into Baltimore, we went to D.C., we got as many landmarks as we possibly could, getting harassed over and over and over and over and over again along the way. I'd say I had the easiest at the Capitol building. I got a little guff over at the Korean War Memorial. And then somebody was just completely ridiculous at the Federal Reserve, but I killed him with kindness. I gave him my ID. I talked his ear off. I mean,
you didn't let him run you off, did you?
No, I didn't let him run me off. I actually had a hot dog in my hand. I played it cool. First of all, you get about 8 minutes on the street for a quarter in D.C., so we're just trying to get enough change so we can get 2 hours and run around D.C. and go get the World Health Organization, the IMF.
I'm ignorant. You get about 8 minutes of change?
Well, no, 8 minutes of time parking for every quarter you have. So if you've got $2.50, you're lucky to get an hour before you get a ticket. And you can only get 2 hours max.
No, I know, but in land of the free, home of the brave, it's not just Bermas being harassed. And I'm sorry to come in and interrupt. This is so exciting. Not just us. Families with kids, they walk over and boss them. They can be in a park 300 yards from a monument with a camera, and they run over. They've been told, let the public know they're scum, get us broke back to capitulate and trained to accept it. And
well, that's definitely the case with the Federal Reserve Bank. I mean, you're not allowed to
say to these bastards, these criminals that pose as federal, that have robbed us. What did you say to these bastards?
Well, I had a really good tripod shot of the middle of the building, right up the stairway, and they had about 6 guards surrounding the place. One guy with a dog, and I'd actually talked to one of the.
Did you get that on tape?
What, the dog guy? You might see the dog guy in my shot just because it's five minutes or so. I mean, it's hard for me to tell because.
So but I mean, did you get any footage for the bastard stopped you?
We got one.
You're off their property and they come and try to stop you.
Yeah.
I would have said you're off your jurisdiction, scumbag.
Well, again, I'm trying to get the shot. I'm trying to bring home as much as I can.
Listen, I'm not mad at you, Bermas. You did a great job. I'm mad at these people.
I agree.
I'm getting sick of their un-American filth.
I got to agree, and so I got a good shot.
What the hell's wrong with this country? Are we men or mice? We got to get pissed. We got to grow cojones again and start getting. And you have the cojones. You were out there, in their face. Tell me what happened with these bastards.
All right. So while I'm talking to the one guy, and he's a nice enough guy, he's just doing his job.
Just destroying America.
Yeah. Just doing his job.
Throat.
And I'm filming, and one of the points he brings up to me is like, well, you can't be too careful. We had that shooting at the Holocaust Museum. I'm like, yeah, I know all about it. James Von Braun. I do political talk radio for 3 hours a day. You can Google me. I kill him with kindness. I tell him I'm a tourist. I get the shots I need.
You explained to him that he had no right to be off the property telling you what to do.
No, I'll tell you who I got
bastard.
I got lippy with, last night I was filming the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia, and I wasn't even filming the building. I was filming the plaque.
Well, that's our right as citizens. We're not their slaves. They've already raped us and taken all our money. Is that enough for you, you parasite filth?
So finally, after I'd gotten the shot with this lady, I was just like, all right, I'm moving. I got the shot. But then I was like, where's the Federal Reserve building? Because I couldn't find the Federal. Philly's a pretty tight grid unless you know where to look. For instance, the Second Bank of America.
Tell me what else happened with these bastards.
I mean, just everywhere you go.
What did the bastards at the Mint do?
The Mint, it was just a woman. It was probably like a little bit before midnight. I was shooting there. It's just like, you can't film a plaque. I'm like, I'm not even filming the building. I'm on a tripod. I'm focused 2 feet in front of a plaque, which just basically goes through the different mints in the United States and when it was founded. It's a U.S. mint.
They're filth. It's a tourist.
She's like, it's government property.
The government owns you, slave. You don't show the government.
So, it just continued and continued and continued.
They've told these cockroaches to do this.
Oh, yeah. We were out in front of Independence Hall for over an hour with Phil Berg, and in the last 10 minutes when everything was closing up, the Liberty Bell and all that, finally one of the Rangers came over and started harassing us, but we were like, come on. They asked
the Liberty Bell, you little bastard! Is there no respect, no decency for America? Have you just your total un-American filth? My God, you people make me sick. They love it. They love being slaves. They love enslaving others. They love the fact the banks have raped them. They love the fact that all this has happened. And Bermas, get back to your show. Here now live, 6 to 9 after my Sunday show. Glad to have you back. Great job. My pet peeve is these bastards, like the Federal Reserve in Kansas City, going off their property a mile to bitch at people.
You. And, the new Canon must be the camera, the Canon XL or the Sony HDV, because I was being harassed like I had an AK-47 in my hand. I mean, they're bringing up the Federal Reserve guys like, well, we had that shooting at the Holocaust Museum. I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't think the crazy guy set up a tripod and a camera.
Well, I would have said, hey, we had the feds killing everybody at Waco. Looks like we can't have a federal government. I mean, this is this Soviet guilt by association. They're going to surveil us, but we're not going to surveil them. But here's the issue. Again, families, Boy Scouts, cops and security guards harassing them in the middle of fields, people out there picnicking. They frown at you, they treat you like trash, and they've been told to do it. And the reason I got so mad, and then I'm going to leave and let you do the show, because a lot's coming up. The reason I get so mad, Jason, is this is supposedly a free country, and they've just started doing this the last few years. This is an order to let us know we're slaves, to make us capitulate, to break our back politically, and to train us to kind of hunker down and go along with it, and to know my children are going to grow up in a country worse than the Soviet Union. And to know that they're hiring all these thugs and control freaks and nobodies, and that they're fully converting the economy from businesses and jobs and factories and manufacturing to police state and thugs and surveillance. And to have Aaron and Rob Jacobson, Aaron Dice and Rob, in Kansas City, almost a mile away at the World War I Memorial on the sidewalk, and to have, and this made the Kansas City Star, just have security guards walk up and say, turn your cameras off. And we're like, but we're in America. And they just said, put their hands on their guns and said, do it or we're going to attack you. I mean, no law, no nothing. I guess we should sue them, is the whole point. We have to say no to these crazy thugs.
It's eventually going to happen.
Listen, I've had Austin cops come up and say, turn your camera off. And I say, no, go ahead and arrest me. I mean, we have to say, no, I'm not your slave. I mean, if they said, listen here, boy, go plow my field and start beating us with a bullwhip, do we go, yes, a master? I mean, this is like slavery again. And just like black folks had to say, I'm not your slave, all of us are going to have to say, because the government's trying to pimp us. They're trying to train us to be their bitch. And we got to stand up and say, no, Bermas, do your show. I know there's massive callers, too, that want to get on. Just I'm going to leave. Go ahead.
All right. Well, for instance, we're going to tape the World Bank, okay? And I'm outside.
A private group of bastards.
Yeah.
And I bet you're not allowed to do that. Well, it's all these criminal organizations. All these criminal organizations think it's not our right to film them. They think it's not. They are criminals. My God.
So we're getting the shot, and we're getting the shot of the logo, and of course the low-level security guard comes out first. And
screw him.
Me and Aaron are kind of...
That little un-American bastard, get the hell out of our country, you piece of crap!
So we're kind of staggered, but close enough so he comes over, and, Aaron's playing dumb, I'm still getting the shot. It's less than 30 seconds before the goons in suits come out, and they're like, oh, you can't be filming
serious.
here.
We got to get our manhood again. Did you ever say to these guys, First Amendment, I'm on a sidewalk?
That was actually Aaron, but we weren't on a sidewalk. In Independence Hall, the guy came up, and we got a debate going. I think he was asking to see our equipment because, God forbid, we have a tripod and a nice camera. Oh, all of a sudden it's commercial and we need a permit, even though we give everything away for free.
Even though you're not on their property. We paid for these frickin' buildings.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
does CNN, when they show buildings, no.
Yeah.
It's a lie. They're just seeing if you don't know your rights.
Well, they also want to harass you. I mean, that's what they get paid.
Well, you know what? They're a bunch of un-American filth, and I hope they're watching this. Make me sick.
I hope some of them.
And let me tell you, when we get this country back, you're all going to be known as the Nazis you are. You understand me, you little criminal bastards? And I'm going to make sure that most of you, like in Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, don't get away with it. We're going to make sure you all go to prison, you little bastards.
Well, they do need to,
They need to go to hell.
Federal Reserve's a private bank. I'm on a public sidewalk. I'm in the, capital of the United States, and I'm not supposed to be able to film the people that just crashed our economy and just got all these new powers, such as, SEC-like powers.
Yeah, it's not enough they've stolen $23.7 trillion.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not enough they're building FEMA camps. They got little bastards who they've told to tell us we can't videotape their crime operations. Just like the cops came up and said they were going to plant guns and bombs on We Are Change if they protested Silverstein.
Are those wires coming out of your shirt there, Jones?
We know it's not a bomb, but we're going to say it's a bomb. And you're going to go to prison. You're criminals.
Or you go and you protest the First Lady of the United States, and all of a sudden you're attacking half-retarded girls in wheelchairs that show up in the courtroom with puppy dogs, and they still can't get a conviction after the Secret Service lies on the stand. So it does show you that truth, can persevere, can win. That's why we're doing these things. That's why we're going to shoot this B-roll so we can make movies that are more compelling.
I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. It's even in small towns now. You try to go get a shot of the American flag at the city hall, they walk over and tell you not to. They have been told, and it's on record, to train us to be slaves. And folks, people get upset about sports and football and their team losing. They yell and scream. That's seen as normal. Mm-hmm. Your instinct to get mad is for stuff like this. This is Soviet-level bondage. It is 180 degrees, the opposite direction of freedom. Freedom's here, tyranny's here. This is tyranny. And it only gets worse from here on out. We got to find our manhood, our womanhood. We got to find our strength and start saying no to these sons of bitches. I mean, something's wrong with people. Was it pissing you off when they were doing this?